Despite how wonderful everything looks on our farm sometimes and how we raise our animals, we have one huge problem, and it's a problem that I find with a lot of local regenerative farms selling their products. I'm Rob from Dowdle Family Farms, and I am on a mission to regenerate the ecosystems on our farm using livestock. And one of my ways to get to this goal is to grow nutritious, diverse cover crops for our pigs to eat. And the benefits are paying dividends. We're beginning to see significant reductions in our feed costs. Our pigs are happy and healthy. They're working to help rebuild the soil health on our farm. Plus, we're seeing a lot more wildlife like turkeys, songbirds, foxes, deer, rabbits, reptiles, amphibians, and then insects like lady beetles, dung beetles, praying mantids, solitary bees, butterflies, and moths. It is truly a beautiful thing to watch, even though it's difficult to catch a lot of these different things on video with nothing more than a cell phone. Further, we're creating a lot of diverse forages for our livestock to eat. And while our pigs will still receive grain rations, they're thriving on cover crop fields where they eat kale, peas, rye, buckwheat, chicory, acorns, hickory nuts, pumpkins, cowpeas, grasses, and many more diverse feeds in our pastures and our forested lots. There are times of the year when we're able to drastically reduce our feed inputs from monoculture agriculture, sometimes by as much as 75%. And while all this feed is produced on our farm with reduced fuel cost, reduced transportation and handling, the feed produced in this system builds soil health without the needs for chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Plus, the more diverse diet that pigs eat from healthy plants grown in healthy soil, more natural vitamins and nutrients the pigs consume and are able to synthesize. Just as importantly, the pigs relish the opportunity to forage in the woods, breaking apart logs, looking for hardwood mass like acorns and hickory nuts, and seeking the most nutritious crops that their bodies need in all these diverse fields. I try to capture as much of this on video as possible because it is truly breathtakingly beautiful. Many times the distance is too great to see all of these things clearly, especially on an iPhone. And you, our viewers on YouTube, seem to appreciate this. I get a lot of comments from users that respect and admire how we treat our animals and raise our livestock. I suspect it's refreshing to see livestock raised in a way that is beneficial for the environment. This benefits all the wildlife and insects while also sequestering carbon and reducing chemicals like fertilizers that dominate so much of agriculture. I think people enjoy seeing the animals enjoying themselves and living a happy life doing what they were designed to do. And indeed, some of our customers go so far as to say that this is how everyone should farm. And while I agree with these sentiments, most people who try to farm this way go out of business or they quit farming. Usually, it's not because they're bad farmers or because of poor production methods. Rather, they struggle to find a market for their products. They have a difficult time finding the customer base that sees the value. Most of us are aware that our products are more expensive. In fact, we spend time, energy, effort, and care raising our livestock this way, but for most of us, our costs are high because we have these fixed costs that are spread over 10 to 20 animals rather than those same fixed costs being spread over 100 or 200 animals. In fact, it costs me more to have a pig processed and packaged at my processing plant than it costs most factory farms to raise and feed their pigs. However, when you get a package of meat from our farm, the meat in that package came from one animal, not dozens or even hundreds. In fact, our animals are processed at one time at our locally owned processing plant. They're treated individually with respect. I, for one, am painfully aware of the costs of my pork and beef, and I know that they're higher than in the grocery store. I also feel the pain of rising costs of everything from equipment, automobiles, energy, and food, while our paychecks many times remain the same or are less. In fact, this has led me to reduce the price of our pigs by $150 to $200 per animal to help people who want to purchase them afford them. But for me to offset these fixed overhead costs like fencing, equipment, labor, and others, I need to spread these fixed costs over more animals, which means selling and raising more pigs. We have the production capacity, we have the facilities to do it on pasture, and ultimately this is better for the environment and the ecosystems on our farm and in our community. We can sequester more carbon, build more organic matter, improve more soil health, improve the water quality, and support more wildlife and insects if we have the additional support. And many other small regenerative farms are in the same boat. We need the support of people like you who believe in what we're doing, who will make a purchase of humanely raised, environmentally friendly products a priority, even if it means eating smaller portions of better quality meat. And many people value the work that we do and don't mind paying a little bit more money for our products. But one of the farm's biggest struggles is finding people locally who will go out of their way to drive to our farm and pick up the meat. Many times the convenience of going to the grocery store and getting that specific product that you want keeps people from coming to our farm. Further, some people prefer purchasing from mail order companies and subscription services that offer a lot of convenience, even if the customers never see the farms or the farmers producing those products. Let me encourage you, I implore you to find a local farmer who is raising their livestock and produce in a regenerative way. Purchase from them, ask them questions, maybe even visit their farm. Know that their farm may look messier than you expect. Many of us are part-time or beginning farmers attempting to get started and have a lot of demands on our time. We aren't set up necessarily for farm tours and for everything to look pristine and evenly mown. But most of us will do what we can to accommodate you because we want you to see what we're doing. We need your help in several ways. First, be patient with your farmer. Many of us are smaller farms who are trying to grow and be great at farming. But we're not great at website design, marketing, logistics, and everything else that comes out of this arena. Second, be willing to try new things. Maybe you've heard that the only problem with a pig is that they only have two sides of bacon. You can't make more bacon, and everyone loves bacon. Maybe you can try a ham steak or ground pork, or take the neck bones and make a delicious, hearty broth and soup out of them. You can use more than just what you're used to. Third, many small producers only have some products seasonally, like beef. Maybe plan for the year and purchase ahead. Alternatively, try different things. I'll never forget the time that I discovered that ground pork is so much better than ground beef. I grew up raising and eating beef. Our family supported beef, but ground pork in spaghetti, chili, tacos, burgers is so much better than beef. It is amazing. Fourth, consider purchasing a whole or half an animal. Not only is it cheaper, it's much easier on the farmer. You will need freezer space, and you'll likely need to learn to cook items that you're not used to cooking before. But it's a joyful learning process that can teach you much more about the animals as well. Finally, just because you find one farmer raising their pork or beef differently than what you expect, know that there might be a good reason. There may not be, you never know. I know a lot of good pastured pork producers, but very, very few are able to drastically reduce their feed costs by growing cover crops like we are. However, some of them are using whey from local cheese makers and producing outstanding pork. Likewise, some producers will feed 100% organic grain, while others like me are not, because it's not easily accessible. I'd encourage people to purchase more pasture-raised, regeneratively grown products locally. With your help and support, hundreds, even thousands of local farmers can regenerate the soils on their farms. You are the catalyst for change. Many farmers are working to improve the welfare of their animals, build organic matter in the soil, and sequester more carbon and help wildlife, but they need customers who are understanding. If you're looking for a locally produced pastured pork, check out the website thepasturedpig.com to see if you have a local producer in your area. If you are interested in trying some of our pasture-raised pork, we are offering a few bundles that we will ship to you around June when it's ready. Historically, we've only sold to our local market, but we are offering a chance to try our products and ship them out to you. You can put a deposit down on one of these bundles now, and when your product ships in June, we'll charge you the balance, and then you'll receive your humanely raised pastured pork that is helping build our farm and our community. This is a huge step for us as we are working out the kinks, and I hope that we can start the transition to make things more convenient for our customers as we work out those kinks. Right now, The shipping and the packing costs for frozen orders are extremely high in small numbers, but they should come down significantly as we get more orders and more experience. Check the link in the description of this video and visit our website, dowdlefamilyfarms.com, for more information.